Alright, best friends, so Julia Hair sent me some more hair. This is their body wave hair. I got it in 228, a 26, a 24, and a 20-inch frontal. Okay, so I went ahead and made my wig, and I'm going to go ahead and start sectioning off the frontal so I can bleach it. Alright, so this is a bleaching and dyeing job. Alright, so you know, usually when I do like my front piece highlights, I would just take a square piece in the front, but I wanted to try something different, and I ended up taking a triangle, and I actually like this better. So I'm gonna section that piece off, and then I'm gonna part it down the middle where my middle part would normally be, and then I am going to section off the frontal into two sections. And this is just going to make it easy for me when it comes to bleaching and placement. Once I have the two sections separated, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side of the frontal. Alright, so this is what I'm going to use to bleach. 40 volume developer, 9-level lift. You need some foil and a bucket to mix your bleach in. Okay, now typically I would say don't use 40 volume developer, but on this occasion I wanted to get it done quick and efficiently, so I did use one round of 40 volume developer, and the second time I bleached this hair, because I bleached it twice, I used 30. You don't want to bleach it twice in 40 because you will kill your hair. Alright, so I'm going to take a couple of scoops of bleach, and I'm going to mix it with the developer to a creamy paste. Something not too thin and something not too thick. Just like a nice, consistency, like pancake batter, I would say. And then once I have that, I'm going to go in and bleach the front of the hair, the highlight pieces. And I want to make sure that this is the part that frames my face, and I want to make sure that this is brighter than all the hair combined. So I want to make sure that this is processing the most. I'm going to leave about an inch of rooting there because I do want a root. I don't want it to just be straight highlights. And after I completely saturate that, like fully saturated where you can't even see the color of the black hair, I'm going to take some foil and I'm going to wrap that piece in foil. Now I'm doing that so it can incubate, but because we're using 40 volume developer, you want to definitely be careful because it can easily over process. So don't like fold your hair in all the way where it can't breathe. When I'm saying that is like, yes, the sides are closed in and the bottom is closed in, but the top is open so that heat could escape. And you want to be able to let your heat escape, because if you close that in, it's basically going to cook your hair, and you don't want that. That's when you start getting the steaming and all that kind of stuff, and like just super hotness when it comes to bleaching. Alright, so I am also going to do the first piece of the frontal that's closest to the hairline, and I'm going to leave about an inch and a half of rooting there as well, and I'm gonna just fully saturate that piece. And once I fully saturate that piece, I am going to wrap it into foil as well. Alright, and then on the second piece of the frontal, I'm going to pull the bleach a little bit lower than maybe a inch and a half. So I'm probably going to be like 2.5 inches or maybe 3 inches away from the actual roots, because I want it to be like a gradual effect when it's laying down on my face. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not taking the bleach up as far as I did with the first piece that I had bleached. And after you do that, you want to do the exact same thing to the other side of the frontal. And the back is super easy. You just basically want to apply the bleach onto your hair as fast as you can and to let it process. You do want to leave some rootage. I did leave a nice chunk of roots on this in my wig, and you can do the same. If you don't want to do the same, that's up to you, but in order to get the look that I have, you should definitely leave some roots. So basically, I'm going to just put the bleach on the mid shaft and the ends of the hair, and wherever I started the bleach, I'm just going to feather it up, and I'm going to do that for all the bundles in the back of my wig. And you definitely want to fully saturate these pieces as well and put foil on them so they can incubate. Remember, leave an area or a side of the foils open so the heat can escape, so you won't over process your hair, because if you're using 4U volume, it'll be definitely easy for you to over process your hair. And we're going to put this hair through a lot of processing, so you want to make sure that it stays as healthy as it can be. So once everything is foiled up and processed, I am going to watch it for about 30 minutes to see it lift, and it did lift pretty well. This is what my foils look like. It's not the neatest thing, but it just got the job done, and As you can see, we are processing and it is lifting to a good color. So I did wash it out with soap, and I didn't tone it or anything, and I let it air dry, and this is the color that I got. So I'm gonna section off the two pieces, the piece in the front again, and I'm going to re-bleach it because again I want that to be the lightest point of my wig. So I'm gonna make sure that it's heavily saturated with bleach, and I am going to go, I'm not going to yeah, okay, so I did foil this piece, but the rest of the hair I did not foil. Alright, so I'm just making sure that this is heavily saturated because like I said, I wanted this to be the lightest portion of my wig. And then now this is the easy part because you already placed the bleach and you can see where you're going to put the bleach again. So all you're going to do is just put the bleach on the areas that you have already bleached, because we want to lift it light enough so we can deposit that ash color so it can make a difference onto the wig. And that's basically how I bleached my wig. Definitely make sure that your sections are heavily saturated. I can't stress that enough. You don't want your bleach to dry out, because if it dries out, it's going to stop processing. So make sure that it's a creamy texture and it's heavily saturated. If you need to go back in and put some more bleach in, that's also fine. Okay, you guys, so you saw when I put all the bleach on the hair, and so what I did was I went ahead and I put bleach on the knots. It's okay if it's a little splotchy and it gets everywhere, because we're gonna go in with color and we're gonna like even everything out. So I'm gonna just let this sit for about 15 minutes. That should be enough to lift it to the level that I need it to be. I do have it in a trash bag right here. You want to watch this because it will heat up fast and it'll get hot. You don't want it to get too hot because it'll over process. So watch your hair. All right, I only can stress that so much. You need to watch your own hair, and this is getting super light. Yes. All right, you guys, I'll be back after I wash it out. Alright, so this is the color of my hair after I rinsed out all of the bleach, and I'm just dipping it in water just to make sure I didn't like miss any areas when it comes to bleaching or to removing the bleach out of my hair. So we have to tone it, and I'm going to use Wella Color Charm in T14. I have 2 bottles and 10 volume developer. 10 volume developer is not going to lift the hair, it's just only going to deposit the color. I don't want anything more powerful than 10 volume because again, we don't want to over process this hair. I'm going to pour both bottles into this mixture into my bowl, and then I'm going to fill each bottle up twice with developer. So that means I'm going to have 4 bottles of developer all together, and then I'm gonna mix it together, and you're gonna get this jelly consistency, and you just apply it to the wig and let it process. And this is the ashy blonde color, lightest pale blonde that you will get when you're doing this. And you can easily stop right here because this was a beautiful color, but I wanted to keep going just to make everything smooth with the wig. So we're gonna go in with box eye. I have 3 box eye colors, and I will have these linked down below in the description box for you guys. And so basically we're going to just do a gradient from the darkest to the lightest. Alright, so I'm only going to use that dark soft black only on the roots on the frontal. That's the only part that I'm going to use soft black. And then from there I'm going to go into the medium brown, and then from the medium brown the rest of it is going to be the ash blonde. Okay, and that's basically all I'm doing. I went from the dark black color to ash on the front portion of the hairline, so it could be that stark contrast where you could just see like, okay, you got roots and then ash, and that's what I wanted for the actual front of the hairline. But when I go towards the rest of the frontal, I'm gonna do the dark black, and then the medium brown, and then the ash, and you just do that for the entire portion of your entire wig. Make sure you are wiping your hands off on a towel or some paper towels when you're going towards the lighter colors, because you do not want to transfer those dark colors to the light colors, because it will definitely mess up your color. Alright, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that, because it's easier to transfer the colors to a different color when you don't want it to be, especially if you have a light color like ash blonde, because that dark color will definitely stain it and you will have a messed up wig, and you will have to go in and do like color fixing, and that's just annoying and a headache. So the big bottle is the medium brown color. I use the big bottle, and I just poured all the contents into that because of the fact that I thought I was going to use a lot of it, and I only actually ended up using maybe like 2.5 bottles of the medium brown color that I'm using on the mid shaft. And I'm making sure that I put that brown color on anything that is brassy, because it'll just tone that out and cover it with hair dye. So yeah, the big bottle is medium brown, and then I have the ash brown in a normal bottle. Make sure you wipe your hands off before you even touch the ash color, okay? Because you do not want it to be stained. And this is what the wig looks like after all the color is applied. You can see the color gradient. You could take the brown as low as you want, or you could take the ash blonde as high as you want. It's up to you and your creations. Again, this hair is from Julia's hair. This hair came out so bomb. Julia's hair to color so well. Again, because this is color treated hair, make sure that you guys are deep conditioning it. This color gave me all types of cute vibes. You feel me? Yes, I do recommend Julia's hair. I've worked with this company numerous of times, and they have not steered me wrong yet. So until next time, bye best friends.